Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Guberman Appleby Immigration Lawyers YouTube channel. I'm Lainey Appleby, and this is my law partner, Joel Guberman. Today, we're going to be discussing the update from Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada that was issued yesterday, July 16th, I believe, with respect to parent and grandparent sponsorships. This is a category that has had problems for many, many years, and there have been continual slowdowns, backlogs, etc. Since before the pandemic, but that's been exacerbated by the pandemic. The good news is that starting on July 28th for 2 weeks, Immigration Canada will be starting to do draws for people who have pending interests to sponsor in the pool. So what this means is that Canadian and permanent resident children and grandchildren of foreign national parents and grandparents who put up their hand and said, hey, I want to bring my parent or grandparent to Canada, now may be selected, and the parent or grandparent can move forward with their permanent residence application. So that sounds great if you have a parent or grandparent outside of Canada, but the fact of the matter is that you are only eligible to be selected if you already had an interest to sponsor in the pool before 2020. So there is no opportunity for additional people to contribute to that pool.
But Lainey, what are they currently processing applications that are in the hopper and supposedly being processed?
Well,
these are taking years.
Yeah, they're taking an extremely long time. So the government has created a workaround for that not only helps people who already have their parent or grandparent sponsorship in process, but more so for people who aren't even in a position to get selected. So the government created a vehicle that's called a super visa that's intended to help in these situations. I think it's a pretty effective tool. It's obviously not as good as having your parent or grandparent in Canada on a permanent basis, but if you're approved for a super visa, your parent or grandparent gets a multiple entry visa that's valid for 10 years. They can come and stay for 5 years at a time, and when they're here, they don't even have to leave. If they want to extend it, you can apply for a 2-year extension from inside of Canada.
But correct me if I'm wrong, under those circumstances, you have to be able to provide your own health insurance. You don't avail yourself of Canada's health system, which under certain circumstances can be fairly onerous. And it seems to me it's a real stopgap measure. Why don't they just process the permanent stuff more effectively and include more people? Because anytime you put a bandage on a program in order to make that program seem more progressive, it seems somewhat flawed to me.
Of course, and I mean, we know the system's not perfect. I mean, at this point, I'm sort of willing to take the Band-Aid because everything takes so long. So,
sure.
I mean, a lot of our clients have had good results with the super visa. It helps reunite families. It helps, the children or grandchildren who are already citizens or permanent residents in Canada in terms of childcare. So, I do think there's a lot of benefits to the super visa.
Yeah, and I mean, we know that the problem is processing time. We've got several in the hopper where they've been selected, they've been processing. We have one instance where they've asked for the same documents 3 or 4 or 5 times.
I know, it's a very frustrating process, and I think the other thing is some of the people who come on super visas, they're very, very old, right? And travel isn't easy, especially if you're coming from a very far away country. So at least when you're here, you kind of have the opportunity to spend time with your children and grandchildren without interruption, without the difficulties in international travel.
So the good and the bad.
It's all about the good and the bad. We're happy to talk to you about permanent residence for your parents or grandparents, and of course super visas. You can DM us, you can contact us by phone, 416-304-9550, or email info@gaimmlaw.com. Thanks for joining us, and please follow and like.